As I soared over the city, heading for the next grouping of fireworks going off in the distance. By the looks of it, it appeared that they were drawing me into what appeared to be a canal, one of many that ran through New Star City, spilling out into the ocean, waterways that would fill up during rainy seasons or in case of flood. As I finally closed in, I could see a group of individuals standing beside the fireworks as they fired off their last few shots. It looked like 6 of them. As I came in for a landing, my wings giving a powerful beat that kicked up dust in the area to slow my descent, landing on the hard cement ground that filled the waterway. I looked out at the 6 individuals standing in front of me and the surroundings around me. This was a typical hangout scene. 4 gangsters, thugs, even punk teenagers looking to just have an isolated place to hang out. Skateboard and BMX, things like that. The canals were covered with your typical graffiti, from everything from amateur graffiti artists to somewhat capable ones. "Well, looks like you finally showed," one of the 6 people said, stepping forward. "Okay, heavy metal knight. I'm glad that you could make it to this little party of ours," he exclaimed. This individual I actually recognized. I had fought him once before. He was that shield douchebag, the one working with the Goliath, able to project barriers made of energy, with only one more noticeable face, the guy with the mask that had a firecracker on it, who blew me up a lot. Unfortunately, the other 4 I didn't recognize. They seemed to be new. There were a couple of guys standing beside each other, and their appearances couldn't contradict anymore, even if they tried. One looked like a muscle-bound moron, tattered wife beater on, torn blue jeans, and sneakers, a big grin plastered on his face as he cracked his knuckles looking me over. A brute for sure. The other guy was completely different. If I had to put a nail in his appearance, he looked more like a college student, wearing dress pants, a white dress shirt, buttoned up, tucked in, a set of glasses on his face, and a look on his face that said that being here was more of an inconvenience to him, like he'd rather be doing other things. Next to them, there were 2 individuals that looked, let's say it, extremely close. A man and a woman. Both appeared to be Latin or Spanish, whatever you want to say. Dark brown skin, looked like gang members from the look of it. And they were sitting on a crate that they seemed to have brought along with them. Or maybe it was just discarded here and they decided to have a seat. Regardless, the woman was sitting in his lap, looking very comfortable, arms wrapped around him. The woman was wearing I'm just gonna say it, very nice outfit. Sexy, no matter who was wearing it. Big golden loop earrings, a smattering of tattoos that highlighted her ample assets. Long black hair, as she and what looked like her boyfriend seemed to share a cigarette, passing it back and forth between one another. But it was the douchebag who projected shields who was doing the talking right now. The others seemed to be fairly relaxed at the time being. Well, I have to say, the little show you were putting on for those schmucks before was pretty impressive. You've definitely picked up some new tricks, he said as he stared me down in the distance. So, the rules to this game are fairly simple, but we've added in a new twist. To start off with, no more collections for you, he said as he looked me down. What? I replied. You heard me, he said, smiling. The guys that you fought last time already told you, right? You're being watched. They saw that little antic you pulled. You've most likely been taking the symbiotes from all the people you beat. Well, that crap stops here. Remember, there are people besides us watching. If they see you trying to take symbiotes, even if you do win, they'll blow the mayor. You got me? Fine. It looks like your symbiotes are safe, at least until the next time I come across you. But I assume those aren't the only rules to this little game. You got that damn right, he replied, still that smug look on his face. But you can relax. The rules to our little game are fairly simple. But it might bother you to hear that we aren't pushovers like those guys that you fought before. You see, in the Black Dog Syndicate, everybody's got a rank based on their power, ability, and usefulness. Those guys you were fighting before, they were bottom tier. Peons looking to climb their way up. Run-of-the-mill foot soldiers and nothing more. Hell, they even had one of our coerced members tagging along with them. But all of us are higher rank than they are, and much more powerful. And don't you think that just because you fought me and my friend here before, that you have any idea what you're dealing with? You managed to catch us off guard. We didn't understand what you could do. You surprised us. To be honest, we were going easy on you to start with. We wanted to kill you slow, making a nice performance for the audience. But all that shit's done and past. This time we're fighting you for real. No holds barred. So this is gonna be the set of rules, chump. Each one of these little groups of two is gonna take their turn. We're each gonna fight you, one team at a time. The rules are as such. You fight only the team currently designated to fight you, launching any attacks on us non-combatants at the time, and you lose immediately. Even if you manage to claim our switch, the guys next in line will flip theirs, and the mayor goes bye-bye. But, luckily for you, it's just that simple. All you have to do is beat us, and you can have the key. Hell, it's hanging right over there, he said, pointing to a nearby overpass that cars drive over to get past the canal. If you squinted and looked very closely, you could see a chain hanging from it, and on the very end, a small, recognizable box. My fingerprint's the one that activates it, once the fight's over. If you win, of course, which I highly doubt. Then you can claim the box of your own will, use my fingerprint to open it, and move on to the next challenge. But that's only given the circumstance that you actually survive this little roundabout. So, is everything nice and clear for you? Yeah, I get it, I replied, as the liquid steel swirled around me, flowing from one place to another, still in its liquid state. So all I have to do is beat you goons, and I can collect the next switch. Seems simple enough, but I have to say, your odds kinda suck, I said as the liquid steel around me began to flow into the surrounding area, large amounts gathering behind me, while large extensions extended out to the left, right, even above me, as they became blades, like the bladed armada was standing right behind me, all of the blades pointing in their direction, giving off a deadly sort of sheen. It was an intimidation tactic, but that didn't mean it wasn't going to be effective, as I stared them down. So, who's getting their ass handed to them first? I said, looking over the multiple groups. Brick, rebound, you're up first, he said, looking over to the unlikely tag team of the Brute and the college guy, as they stepped forward. Oh, I'm gonna lay a beating on this moron. I can't wait for it. I really think I'm gonna enjoy myself, the brute said as he stared at me, loosening himself up for the fight. Don't get cocky, you moron. Remember, this guy isn't a pushover. Remember, I'm the brains of this little tag team of ours. You're not gonna slip up and cost me my ass. We have a mission. Take out the metal guy. Don't let your idiocy ruin it. Go screw you, Rebound. I'm the one that does all the work in this operation. Who actually gets shit done. The only reason you're able to get shit done, as it were, is because I come up with sound plans for you. Otherwise, you just flail in the breeze. So don't get cocky. You need me and you know it. The only reason we've made it this far is because of me. We're two halves of the same coin. One does the thinking, the other does the punching. Stick to your role, and this'll be no different than any of our other gigs. Just do what you're told, lummox. Oh, what the fuck ever, they said as they bantered in between each other for a moment. Well, let's get this beating underway. I'm ready to get down to it.